Hey guys, welcome to day 3 of my 100-day self-connection experiment where I meditate for 2 hours every day and then I shoot a video sharing my experiences of that session that day. So today was a lot less intense, it was a lot easier, but at times I was starting to feel really ungrounded because to take you back to yesterday, as you know, I had so much excruciating pain come up. I was in like unbearable pain for a majority of the 2 hours. It was really intense. And then as the day went on, as that pain started clearing, I started coming into really high states of consciousness, like some type of heavenly, divine, celestial realm of consciousness that have I have experienced a few times, but not to the depth and not to the level that I did yesterday. It was just an all-day experience. I just felt so connected, like bizarrely connected. Like I knew what people were going to say to me before they even started talking. I was just really clear, like crystal clear, and it was just a really beautiful experience. I feel like I had cleared out so much of what was keeping my vibration low yesterday. But on the other side of that coin is it was so much energy that when we're in that high of a vibration and we're not used to being there, it's a lot for the nervous system to handle. So my nervous system doesn't have the endurance to maintain that level of vibration yet. So my nervous system really last night, as I was going to bed, just started getting burnt out. I could feel it. It's like if you go to the gym and you haven't been to the gym for a long time and you go in and you just do a really hard workout, dude, that next day you're going to be wiped. And that's what I experienced today is I felt like I had pushed things so hard in the first 2 days and that my nervous system was, because when we're meditating for that long of a time, we're like bringing in so much more light. We're bringing in a lot more energy. We're really opening ourselves up, to the divine. To source, which is beautiful. It's the movement, of awakening. But at the same time, it can kind of leave you feeling fried, and like that's what I was experiencing today. And at times, the energy got so. I just was feeling a little bit ungrounded. I was feeling like maybe I was pushing a little too hard. So every now and then, I would go to an eyes open meditation, which you can meditate very effectively, very deeply with your eyes open, but it does take the intensity back a little bit. So depending on how intense it was getting and how just using the best discernment I could about the state of my nervous system and the energy, I would have my eyes closed and every now and then I would open them just for a little bit, just to kind of ease it back just a touch. And then I'd go back into the meditation with my eyes closed. This is a 100-day self-connection experiment. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And I really want to be gentle with my nervous system. When we have an active Kundalini already, it's already going through a lot of change very quickly. So I didn't want to overburden the nervous system and and make things so difficult on it to where I had to end this challenge, right? So every now and then, just a little bit of an eye-open meditation, and I think that was the best thing for me. One thing from this meditation I really hit me deeply is like time. Every time I would think, gosh, how much longer is left in my meditation, I would feel such misery overtake me. And I would start feeling horrible, and like fear and anxiety would come up, and like stress and just an overall sense of unease. But every time I just focused on going inward and connecting with myself and let go of the concept of time, I just felt good. I felt at peace, and I was like, this is not that bad. This is not hard. So what that taught me is that really living in time and psychological time is such a constraint on our well-being and happiness. And it is so unnecessary, yet we're so addicted to it because we think we create an illusionary concept of ourselves based on psychological time, right? The past and the future to define who we are, but that's not who we are at all. We're just this eternal, ever-present, infinite now. That's it. And when we connect with that space, when we connect with that timeless space within us, that's when real peace can flow in and true joy And that's when we open ourselves up to living through the heart, to having an experience of this life that is without the psychological torture of living in linear time. And that's what this meditation really taught me. I also wrote down, listen to your soul. Like just do it as an experiment. Your soul is connected to all that is. Your soul is connected to the universe, to God. So do you really think that your soul is going to steer you wrong? Do you really think that your soul is going to, abandon you, like leave you in this desolate place with no support? Your soul knows you better than you know you. So of course your soul knows what you really want on a deeper level than you even know that. So your soul is always telling you what to do in every moment. And when we go with our soul, it feels great. It's in alignment. But when we don't listen to our soul because we're afraid of the unknown, because the soul's always pushing us to the unknown, and we go with the mind's illusions of safety and security, we're going to start feeling a conflict within. And when we are in conflict with ourselves, conflict within, conflict without. When we're in conflict with ourselves, we're going to be in conflict with the external reality, other people, circumstances, situations, etc. But when we're in harmony with ourselves, when we're in harmony with what our soul is asking for us, then we're going to be in harmony with the universe. We're going to be in harmony with the external reality. So that's a big one. Just listen to your soul. It's telling you every minute what to do, every second, every now moment. The soul is eternally present. It's always with you and it's always guiding you. And the easiest way to listen to the soul is to bring your consciousness from the front of your forehead, from the thinking mind, and just bring it into your heart. Bring it into your gut. And rest there. And that is when you'll start hearing and feeling the soul's guidance, the soul's movement in you. And your life will just get a lot easier and a lot more aligned. Another thing, this is a big one. I realized also in the meditation, when my body, like if you're meditating and your body and your mind are like, get up now, let's go do this now. Okay, this is enough. I can't take this anymore. When it's asking you to do that and you don't get up and you stay there in the meditation, that's when the magic happens. I've realized that's the magic in meditation, is when you keep meditating when your body's telling you to stop and when your body's telling you get up. Because that feeling of get up and go somewhere else, that's conditioning speaking. That's your old self. That's a pattern. And if you listen to that and you get up and leave, guess what? That pattern just is going to keep running you. You're going to keep running on that same karmic cycle. But when that emerges, when that conditioning emerges and tells you, tries to pull you away from the meditation, and you don't resist it and you just stay rooted in your I am presence and you just stay allowing, and you feel the stress and anxiety that the body and the mind have when they're trying to tell you to move and you're just not moving and you're just staying there as pure presence, that's when something new emerges in you that you've never been before. That is the shift in meditation. That is the gift of meditation, is it allows these old patterns, these old conditioned parts of you to just fall away. But the work is you have to feel these parts as they fall away. And if you feel them for long enough, if you stay allowing of them for long enough, if you stay open to them for long enough, they fall away. And then something new emerges in you. And you're free of those old patterns. They're just gone. They're gone. And then you come to this place of peace and spaciousness. And you say, this isn't so bad. I sat here, I sat through it. And then maybe more will emerge, more patterns, more karmic conditioning. And then we just let those burn away in the light of presence too. And this is very challenging. This is the hardest part of meditation. I think I was probably an hour and a half in, cruising, right? Just cruising along. And then all of a sudden the body's like, okay, I'm done. Let's go. The mind's like, let's get out of here. This is too much meditation. And I just sat there in the I am presence. And it was a pretty rough last half hour, but I was able to just watch those parts of me and just kind of let them go. And so that is the magic in meditation that I've really been learning. Last thing I wanted to talk about, in yesterday's meditation, when all that pain was coming up, the reason I feel like it took me to more of a divine state is because like an aperture opened up in me, like in my consciousness, through feeling that pain, through clearing so much of that old conditioning and patterning. What it did is it allowed so much more source energy into my being. It allowed so much more light into my being. So it really opened up an aperture, but that really did bring up a lot of nervous system, like a lot of just nervous system upgrades, but those can be really challenging. So if you're going into deep into meditations and that starts happening and you start feeling like not really in your body, disoriented, ungrounded, that's okay. It's just your nervous system adapting. Eat some root vegetables, some potatoes, some carrots, get outside barefoot, bring your consciousness lower and lower into your body. Do a sinking breath where you say you breathe in for like 6 seconds and then you exhale for 8 seconds or 10 seconds. Basically, you just breathe in and then you exhale for longer than you breathe in. That's a sinking breath. It really brings you down into your body. I was doing that breath a lot this meditation to really keep myself grounded. You can also ask on God, ask on the universe or your higher self to help you to stay grounded while you are doing the inner work of releasing the old. And ego obliteration. If you're feeling lots of pain in a meditation, this is good. If it feels like your ego just can't take it anymore, this is good. It's good for the ego to kind of be put in its place. Whenever you're feeling severe boredom in a meditation or severe agitation or severe just pain, like you just can't stand it anymore, that's your ego losing power. That is the thinking mind losing power, and that is source coming in to be more embodied in your vessel. So this is a really good sign. If your ego, like yesterday, like I said, I was broken. My ego was broken, but because it broke, so much more light could shine through. And that's the gift of a long meditation, especially at first, is what I'm experiencing, is the ego is just breaking down. It's just losing its power, and it might feel frustrated and terrified, and it might be telling you all kinds of fearful thoughts like you're going to lose your mind, you're meditating too much, or you're just never going to stay grounded enough, or you can't do this, it's too painful. But that's the ego losing power over your movement, and this is a great place to be. And I just wanted to mention that if you're doing this, don't have any worries if that comes up. It's natural. I think that is all I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I had a lot of energetic releases today, a lot of fear come up and release on the energy side of this. It was really, really quite nice. Right now, I do feel really tired. I do feel like I've pushed things really hard, but now is where rest and self-care come in and staying grounded. And it's only day 3. I think that these meditations, I've heard Kyle C says like the first week is like cleaning out that like a dirty hose, with water, like a bunch of gunk comes out at first, but then he says it gets much easier. And I feel that will happen. I feel like it's also like you go to the gym, you get sore, really sore the first few times, but then after a while, your body adapts to it and you're able to you just have so much more endurance. And I think that's what will happen here. So for this first week, it's just really going to be a lot of rest, a lot of self-care, and just doing what my body and nervous system needs so that I can continue this experiment for myself and for all of you. So thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. Let me know if you're doing any type of deep meditations or how you like to connect to yourself. If it isn't meditation, what feels good to you? I enjoy connecting with you guys, and I will see you tomorrow for day 4. Namaste.